Okay, I'm rather excited right now. This is Matthew from MiniWargaming.com, and I want to talk to you about Hive Fleet Nihilus going to the Grand Narrative in Atlanta. If you're not familiar with what it is, which most of you probably aren't, Hive Fleet Nihilus is my custom Hive Fleet that I've created for 10th edition. I shelved my 25,000 plus point Hive Fleet. Wow, I've already forgot. Charon, my red ones, and that I've been collecting for the past 17 years, and I wanted to try out a new color scheme, and so I've been working on that. And I've got some awesome models to show you that were custom built for this. Then I got to talk about what I still have to paint and everything that's going on for the Grand Narrative. I'm so excited right now because these models just showed up, and I just can't wait to talk to you about them in more detail. So the Grand Narrative is an event that Games Workshop has put on 2 years in a row, and the third one is coming up this November in Atlanta. And I've managed to convince a bunch of other people, 13 exactly so far, to match my color scheme. So we'll have 42,000 points of Hive Fleet Nihilus there. And then I have a bunch of people doing Genes to the Cult in a unified color scheme for the Cult of the Ascendant Strand. And then I have a bunch of people bringing their Tyranids with their own color schemes, but as part of Hive Fleet Nihilus as splinter fleets. So all in all, I think I have between 25 and 30 people that we're all going together, which is just going to be so fantastic. I hope next year I can get 100. Can you imagine 100 all in the same color scheme? That would be 300,000 points of one consistent Tyranid Hive Fleet. It would just probably break some sort of world record, maybe, just maybe. Anyways, the reason that I am so excited and hyper right now is not because I only got 3 hours of sleep last night and so I'm overtired and a little manic, but because I just got these bad boys in from Frankendoodle65. That's the person's handle at on Instagram. I discovered Frankendoodle many, many months ago as he had made custom Tyranid models for other people, and I loved him, and I asked him if he would commission, and he said he would. And so he created this because since we're matching color schemes with about 13 other people, so 14 of us in total, and each person is bringing their own Hive Tyrant, I thought, well, if I'm going to represent the synaptic nexus, kind of the central part of Hive Fleet Nihilus as the Grand Hive Tyrant, I had to have a Grand Hive Tyrant created. So I had to make this. So I'll probably make like an entire video just talking about these models and how they were built. But if I give you kind of a quick overview, first off, you can see how much bigger it is than a regular Hive Tyrant. It's like a true scale Hive Tyrant. And I don't say that disparaging this Hive Tyrant model because it's awesome, because I know there's a certain limit to how big you can make things consistently. But when you watch Space Marine 2 gameplay footage and you see them fighting a Hive Tyrant, it's not that big, it's this big. This is more appropriate size. So this is Screamer Killer legs. We've got, now the torso is probably, I actually don't know what that part is, so maybe Frankendoodle can comment below on all these different parts. And you can also check out his Instagram. He's posted lots about this guy, including in the descriptions how he's done it. I recognize this back piece. Sorry, it keeps focusing on my finger, not on the model. So I'll try to go back further. The back piece here looks like it's from a neurotyrant, or sorry, not a neurotyrant, a Norn emissary or Norn assimilator. And then obviously anything that is just putty has been kind of built almost from scratch. So you can see that he extended the bone sword to do that. The tail being, I think, mainly putty, because this guy is a sculptor extraordinaire, filling in all the gaps and everything as well. The whip, I believe, is from a Toxicrene or something like that. And then the gun, let's take a look at that, I'm pretty certain that is from a Tyrannofex. And then just with this part molded on the end to actually look like the end of a enormous venom cannon. This thing looks like it should be a strength 12 venom cannon, which of course I'm not going to play it as that. I'm just going to play it as a regular Hive Tyrant, but with obviously the -1 damage enhancement, because this thing looks like it should last a little bit longer. And then we got little bits of sculpting here in order to extend the head and to get a bigger spike. You can kind of see the difference between the regular head and then the sculpted head. And so that's just awesome. Just absolutely awesome. I'm pretty sure that's, oh, frick, what model is that head from? It's probably like a Norn emissary or a assimilator head as well, because that one back there is totally the Norn emissary head. So I think this is the Norn assimilator head and then modified. in order to look more like a Hive Tyrant. And then just like so much detail sculpted into it. I apologize for my shoddy camera work right here. It's not doing it justice, but I'm just so excited. I want to get this painted. I want to start painting it today. But I had to show it to you before it got painted. So I had to make this video really quickly about all of that right there. So that's the Grand Hive Tyrant, which will be coming. I had said that everything I'm bringing to the Grand Narrative will have painted myself. And so that's part of the reason that they're not painted, although Frankendoodle prefers not to have to paint them himself if he doesn't have to. And so I will be painting these bad boys up and hopefully will not ruin them. So what is this thing? Well, this is going to be a Grand Neurotyrant. Because in the trailer for Warhammer 40k 10th edition, the Neurotyrant looked way bigger than what it actually ended up being. Once again, I'm not disparaging the Neurotyrant model. I think it's super cool. It just seems rather small. Let's give a comparison right here of those two models. You can see there's a bit of a difference. And now with the latest update of Tyranids allowing Neurotyrants to join Zoanthropes, this thing is definitely going to be the one doing that. So the theme of my list that I'll be bringing, you bring 3,000 point roster, then you play 2,000 point games, is a synaptic nexus, which means it's mainly like psychic creatures and synaptic creatures. And so having a triple Neurotyrant I thought would look really cool. In reality, when I watched the trailer for the 10th edition, I thought there were 3 Neurotyrants in there, when it was really just in the end, I noticed afterwards it's a Neurotyrant and 2 Tentaclids. But still, that whole idea of having 3 Neurotyrants in an army was just super cool, even though I know it's not necessarily going to be really good. Or maybe it will be, I'm not quite sure. But that's definitely, we're looking at a Norn emissary back with a lot of modeling stuff all over it to add on to it and to make it even more menacing. And then we've got a Norn emissary head. And then I wish I knew all the stuff. Like I said, hopefully he'll post a comment below, and then I'll pin that comment to see all of that. But a lot of this looks like it's from a Norn emissary kit, and then the tail probably, you know what? I'm trying to figure out what that tail is from, because it so perfectly looks like a Neurotyrant tail, just much bigger. Maybe it's like a Venomthrope tail or something. And the tentacles, once again, probably from a Toxicrene kit. But just a wonderful, wonderful sculpting work that we can see here. I am so excited because not only do I have custom models that have been made, but I have Fred from Fred and L Designs designing a Genestealer Cult Biophagus cosplay for me as well, which I can't wait to show you stuff for as well. Here's what's on my painting table. It's a little dark because I need to improve the lighting in this room that I'm painting in, but I got these nice big lights for when I'm actually painting. So I got about 2,000 points left to paint, because thankfully out of the 3,000 point roster, there was already about 1,000 points that I had painted. So even though I have a couple of Neurotyrants painted up, they weren't painted by me, and so I need to add 2 more, which means I'm going to have too many Neurotyrants, but it's the price I pay for commissioning out sometimes and then sometimes doing it myself. And so basically, here, let me just brighten this up a little bit. There we are. You can see that I have a unit of 6 Zoanthropes. I got 6 Tyrant Guard. If you're wondering why there's some yellow, it's because my 3-year-old daughter broke in here and spilled paint, but thankfully wasn't too bad. Nothing that I can't fix. Got a Barbed Hero Duel and a Scythe Hero Duel because I do allow Legends. Got a Tervagon back there because I've already actually painted enough Termagants myself, so thankfully I don't have to paint those. But I do have to paint up 22 Neurogants, 2 units of 11 to go with these 2 Neurotyrants. Originally I was going to be doing 33 of these, but then the update said that you can actually join Zoanthropes with them, which I think will look way better. So let's just demonstrate that, all very professionally done in a old school vlog format, so you can see how the size of that next to it works. And I think that'll actually look really cool with a unit next to them, whereas these little Neurogants look better scaled for the regular Neurotyrant stuff as well. So you can look forward to that. If you want to follow more of my antics of this, I'm going to be posting a lot more often on my Instagram at MWGMatthew. So if you want to follow there, I will be posting YouTube Shorts as well, but the most posts will go there with the occasional video here. And then once the Grand Narrative is done, we'll post a big old video with a synopsis of the whole thing, which we'll go over the cosplay, the games, the models, the whole kit and caboodle. So if you are going to the Grand Narrative and you're a Tyranid player and want to join in as a Splinter Fleet, or maybe you haven't painted yet and you want to actually last minute join our forces, let me know. Email me, matthew@miniwargaming.com, and I will get you in there. But other than that, I'm just going to end this video here, and I'll be back at it. Got to start painting. Remember, follow me on Instagram @MWGMatthew. I will post videos here as well, so you can subscribe to see all that is going on. And I'll be doing narrative campaigns and battle reports of this stuff in the future as well as I get it painted. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.